And yes, thank you all for being here. So my name is Kim Thayer, and I work for the Mauna Kahālāwai Watershed Partnership. I actually just made 9 years here, which has gone by really fast because this is pretty much my dream job. I get to do a little bit of everything, and I'll tell you about it. It's pretty awesome. So a little bit about myself. I am actually from Haiku, and pretty much kind of like Serena, I grew up outdoors getting dirty all the time. My mom and my auntie Thayer always came home covered in dirt from head to toe. I used to watch National Geographic videos all the time instead of watching cartoons. And I remember like I must have been like 3 or 4 and learning about the Kauai o'o that was going extinct, and the bird was calling for a mate and never found it. And that just captivated me from that age. And I thought, maybe I'll be the one to find the other bird when I grow up. But I went to Wailuku L, I went to Seabury, I went away for school, and I ended up going to school in Australia doing anthropology, which is not entirely conservation. But I did a lot of volunteering when I was a kid. So I did all the hiking trips I possibly could in school. I volunteered with the Nature Conservancy early in high school and started volunteering with them after college. And that actually really did help me get my foot in the door, because having an anthropology degree isn't completely applicable to conservation. So volunteering really does help. But the work we do here, kind of like what Kylie said, is basically protecting our native forests that look just like this in the picture. Because not only is this home to all kinds of native species that exist here and nowhere else in the world, but these are also very important cultural treasures as well. And this is the giant living sponge that produces all the water that we drink on this island. So if we're gonna keep living here, we really, really, really need good, healthy native forests to soak up all the rain and all the fog, to feed our streams and our aquifers so that we have clean water to live on for us and for your generation and for all the generations after us. So we want to keep the whole mountain looking green and beautiful and native like this. So this is to give you an idea. We are the Mauna Kahālāwai Watershed Partnership. So we take care of basically all the upland forests of the West Maui Mountains. You just heard from Kylie, who works in the pink area, Leeward Haleakala, and you're going to hear from Allison, who works in the green area on East Maui. But we pretty much all do the same variety of work. So to get a little bit into that, this is looking at Waihe'e Valley. And you know, when you look at the mountain, it looks all green and healthy, but when you take a closer look, you can kind of see that it's not entirely as healthy as you think. Green does not necessarily mean good. And when you get on the ground, you have, in some places, things like this, where you have had like pigs and goats and deer have eaten away all the native stuff. And what moves in is a lot of aggressive, invasive things that choke out all the native things that are left. And when you lose the native plants, like Kiahi said, you lose all the native insects and bugs, and then you lose all the forest birds as well, and the whole system crashes. And when you lose all of that, it affects everyone. Wildfire comes through also, and this all washes down to the ocean, like what we've seen this weekend. So there are many, many reasons to save our native forests. And the way we protect them is first by building fences that are made to exclude things like pigs and goats and deer and sheep that eat all of our forests. And sometimes you're hanging off of ropes down a steep cliff, or you're working in teams on really nice flat area that makes it very easy to build fence. But we have like 25 miles of fence and counting, and this all has to be maintained all the time because there's landslides, there's people that cut holes in the fence, There's all kinds of things that damage fences, and we really need these to stand, because you can see in this picture on the left, I think you can tell which side is outside of the fence and which side is inside of the fence. So they really do make a difference. So we put up fences, we take out all the animals, and once the animals all out, we can work on controlling all the weeds that choke out all the native forests. So this is an area where we've cleared a bunch of strawberry guava out of like really nice koa forest on the west side. So fencing, animal control, weed control. We do a lot of data collection and monitoring. And we're starting to get into seed collection and restoration, like what Kylie was talking about on Leeward Haleakala. So sometimes I get to work in the field. This is me here with our field crew. I go about once a month, and I get to ride in helicopters and do all the fun stuff in the mountain, because we can restore places and see new forests pop up. Like these are koa seedlings. This is little ohia and moa that are growing actually inside of a strawberry guava that has been killed. So if you give the native stuff a chance, they're gonna come back. And that's really gratifying to see. So more of what I do a lot of presentations in the schools. I will give presentations to anybody that will listen to me talk about how important our native stuff is. And once in a while, we get breakthroughs where people volunteer with us and they go on to work in conservation. So this is my daughter on the left, learning good practice of cleaning her shoes before she comes on hikes. So we've taken volunteers from late elementary school all the way up to adults to give everybody who wants to kind of firsthand experience getting dirty, controlling strawberry guava, pulling weeds, collecting seeds, and planting native plants. So this is on Waihe'e Ridge Trail. This is actually a teacher from Baldwin High School coming with us. But we're starting to open up a site in Olowalu that we can also take people out to do seed collection and planting. But this is a lot of what I do, is outreach and education, which is maybe where my anthropology degree comes into play. So you never know how your experience is gonna lead into things later in life. And this is the rest of our crew. So we have men and women. Women can do field work too and get dirty and ride helicopters and build fence with the guys. We have Taylor here in the bottom left on the red. He was our intern. So we have a kupu intern that we have every year for a year-long program. And we've had many interns just like Taylor who have completed their internship, and we ended up hiring them once their internship was done. So he is now a fully fledged member of our field crew. And this here is Justin, who is from Kihei, who is our new intern this year. And so we have Jill, who does a lot of like data and GPS and GIS work. So if you can brush up on those skills, those are like really good skills to have. Kayana is from Molokai, but he's worked all across Hawaii. This is Jackson, who is one of our newest hires. He is a hunter. He goes hiking all the time. He is very like ma'a to field work. He's volunteered with Olowalu Cultural Reserve. But just to say, even hiking, hunting experience, knowledge of the mountain, ability to hike a long way, being a team player is very important. Even if you know nothing about conservation, if you are willing to learn, and if you are good working with a team, if you have a positive attitude, that is gonna go a long, long way. And having a spirit of adventure is also gonna help as well. So yeah, thank you very much. I'll answer any questions later, but oh, sorry. The other thing I do is our social media, which is really fun. So we have a Facebook and an Instagram. I'll put my email in the chat if you wanna get in touch with me, and I'll put our website there as well. And I think Allison is gonna go next and tell you about East Maui doings. So thank you. Mahalo.